Okay, so now that we have a little bit of an understanding of what price discrimination is and the conditions under which we could expect to see it, let's talk about who benefits from price discrimination. So obviously the sellers benefit because they get to charge different people different prices, and they can charge the people who are willing to pay the most a very high price, and the people who are willing to pay less a low price, and they can make more money in doing so. Okay, so what we can do is we can show this on a simple demand curve. Okay, so let's just assume for simplicity's sake that the cost of production is 0. This is the only firm, it's a monopoly. And so let's say they separate into two different groups. They're able to separate the market into high willingness to pay and low willingness to pay. Well, if they had a group of people who had a high willingness to pay, then they would earn this much revenue off of that group. And if they had a separate group that was only willing to pay a lower price, then they would gain this revenue here. Okay, so we can see that by being able to separate this market into two groups, even just two, we can actually gain more revenue. Because remember, the revenue is equal to the area underneath the curve. Okay, so in this case, the revenue here is this black box, and the low price is this blue box. It's not this part here, because we've already sold those units to the high-paying customers. And this would be the low-paying customers. Okay? So the profit from the low-paying customers is only the additional units that we sell times the price that we're charging. So this is clearly going to benefit the sellers. But what about the consumers? After all, wouldn't it be the case that by charging people different prices for the same good, that sounds like it'd be malicious or counterproductive? Actually, it's not. The consumers benefit too. And how is that? Well, let's think about this for a quick second. Suppose for a minute that if we could not price discriminate, the revenue maximizing price that we could charge might be somewhere like this. Okay? And that means that this whole area right here would be the total revenue. Okay? It should be fairly obvious that the black and blue squares combined are bigger than the red square. That would be the benefit to the seller. But here, notice that if we had the revenue maximizing one price, all of these people right here would be left without access to whatever this product is. And so what this price discrimination actually accomplishes is it increases the amount of the good that is available to the consumer. Okay? Without it, fewer people would be able to get this product. With price discrimination, more people can get the product. When it comes to healthcare, being able to discriminate based on price actually leads to more healthcare being available to more people. And that sounds like a pretty good thing to me.